Welcome to the FM brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com. My name is JC Styles, and I am back with the TNA Bound for Glory review for October 2nd, 2016. Bound for Glory just went off the air, and I'm going to let you guys know in something right off the bat. I got home at the beginning of the Moose Mike Bennett match, so I did miss the first two matches. So I'm just going to, before I get into the match card, I do want to say this. Brian and I have figured out how we're going to do our co-videos. We're fooling around with Uvu Video Recorder, and so we guys are going to be providing you with some reviews, some epic discussions in the weeks to come. So make sure you guys keep an eye out for that. But moving into the card, like I said, I got home at the beginning of the Moose Mike Bennett match, so I'm just going to read through the results for the first two matches. DJZ, who is better known as Zema Ion, successfully retained the TNA X Division Championship against Trevor Lee. We then saw I want to say was a 10-man Bound for Glory gauntlet match where the winner could choose any championship match of their choice. Eli Drake wound up picking up the win by eliminating Tyrus and Jesse Goddard. We then go into Moose picking up the win over Mike Bennett. Now, Moose is an ex-NFL star, and I was really impressed with his in-ring ability. I do not know if he had any wrestling experience prior to making his TNA debut, but he really knew how to bounce the ropes. He really knew how to jump off the ropes and everything. He really knew how to sell a move, take a bump, throw a punch, throw a clothesline, etc. He really performed really well, and I was really surprised, especially for an NFL star, because there hasn't been many sports athletes like basketball, football, baseball that really performed well in a match, especially a match that went on for 10 minutes and 9 seconds. Really impressed me. I really don't know too much about Mike Bennett. Like I said, guys, I have not watched TNA in quite some time, but I wanted to give it a shot, and I turned on the pay-per-view and started watching it. So Moose picked up the win over Mike Bennett. We then go into Aaron Rex, a.k.a. better known as Damien Sandow, picking up the win to become the first ever Grand Champion. Now, Brian and I, before he fell asleep, were talking about this title. And I have to tell you, I've taken craps that look better than this title. The title is very bland. It didn't look like... It looked like a title that was made on a website, and they just threw it together at the last minute. I do know that TNA is suffering from cash loss flow, and I guess that this was their best efficient way of creating a championship. The belt just looked god awful. Oh my god, like it looked like something you can buy at a Walmart or a Target. And I'm not just saying that because I work for Walmart. I'm saying it does look like you can buy that off of at a Target, Toys R Us, or a Walmart. It looked like a toy belt. Better yet, a commemorative, a high expensive replica belt. Low and expensive replica belt, I should say. But that's enough about the title. Really impressed with Sandow, a.k.a. Rex. I was really impressed with his in-ring ability in the WWE. I wish WWE would have used him better. Even though that I thought he was hilarious as Mrs. Stunt Double. But really glad that he got the title. The fans really didn't sell the victory well, though. They were like, yay, yay, yay. Like, what are we going to do now? Yeah, yay. Like, it was just really horrible. He didn't really get a good standing ovation that they thought he was going to get. But I want to go into the... I want to say... No. The next segment was the TNA Hall of Fame ceremony. We saw Gail Kim inducted into TNA's Hall of Fame. We saw the return of Awesome Kong, who came out and said something. Taryn Terrell, who was Prego, and Christy Hemme, who looks beautiful as always, came out, and they all said a little something about Gail. Gail came out and talked about her run in TNA and how she fought and scratched and clawed to get women the rights to be able to compete in TNA, to wrestle. She talked about how it was like and felt like to become the first ever TNA Knockouts champion. She talked about the people in her life outside of wrestling, also the women in wrestling who became her sisters, so to speak. And again, I mean, the way I look at it is TNA is eventually standing on its last leg. It's been standing on its last leg for quite a while. And not to take anything away from TNA and the superstars, but, I mean, at what point does it really matter that you're going to have a Hall of Fame? Because pretty much basically the company's going to go belly up eventually, and none of that's really going to matter. And a lot of people were saying that Billy Corgan is going to take over and buy the company. There's a lot of rumors going around. There's a lot of news going around that WWE is really interested in buying the company. And but you guys, I've talked about that in other 2 videos, so go check those out. But we then go into the Hardy Boys, Broken Matt Hardy and Brother Nero, with Rebecca Hardy versus Decay, Abyss, and Crazy Steve for the TNA Tag Team titles. And this match was a acid trip. Like, I felt like I dropped acid. I mean, Matt Hardy looking like a crazed meth head. Jeff Hardy, always crazy with his face paint. I'm telling you right now, this was like a bad acid trip. I felt like I was tripping balls on E. I'm not even going to lie to you. The crowd going delete, 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 delete. Like, oh my god. And then Jeff going obsolete, obsolete, obsolete. Like, granted, it was a great match. Backstage, outside brawl. They were battling in the moving pickup truck. I'm sorry, I was laughing during this whole match, but it was always nice to see the Hardy Boys. Really enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie, really enjoyed it. Your new TNA Tag Team Champions, the Hardys. We then go into Gail Kim defeating Maria for the TNA Knockouts Championship. And at the end of this match, we saw Mike Bennett come out when he was trying to hold the show hostage. And Cody Rhodes and Brandy Rhodes make their debut. Cody looked pretty good. Pretty cool attire. I'm wondering what they're really going to do with him. You know, I feel bad because if the company does go belly up, I feel bad because where is he going to go if the company goes belly up? Because the only other wrestler companies he can go to, he can either go to New Japan Pro Wrestling or he can go to ROH. So it really depends. I really don't see much options for him other than going back to WWE, if he would go back to WWE if TNA does close its doors. Last match of the night. Pretty decent. Pretty solid match. Lashley defending his TNA World Heavyweight Championship against Ethan Carter III, EC3. Lashley. I don't know. I really don't. He's in MMA. From what I've heard, he defends his championships every other month. Excuse me. I did work today. And Ethan Carter 3, really great showing. Really interesting in the ring to see these guys go at it. Really enjoyed it. Back and forth action. The mass and physique of Bobby Lashley kind of reminds me of Apollo Crews a little bit. He's just a big guy, but he's very agile and athletic, and has agility up the ass. EC3, not to take anything away from him, he fought his hardest. At the end of the match, we saw Bobby Lashley do a spear off the second rope, which led to him retaining the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. So, guys, please leave your comments in the comment box below. Let me know your thoughts on what you guys thought of the pay-per-view. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the description box below. Hopefully Brian and I can get together and try to do a Q&A this week on one of my days off. So, guys, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more. Don't forget to share this video with your friends. And for the Efren brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com, my name is JC Styles. Until next time, peace.